Because the system that we have produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. And so you can have a politician who knows nothing about leadership, and he's leading you. Politicians are concerned about the next election. That's all they're interested in. That's why they cannot be leaders. Different. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. I want you to compare those two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house wanting to vie for your vote. Just ask him, what is your vision for my children? I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. He will leave your house because he has no interest in your children's children. His concern is to stay in power, to keep the position, to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. I hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right. If he don't want to see you, you can take him to court. That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit and say, I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. And sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what is your passion for our community? He'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? And this is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose. What we need is statesmen. Statesmen. We don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting human. A statesman thinks of the next generation.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your brother BOLO V&R. I'm live on all my platforms: BOLO V&R, BOLO V&R 2.0, BOLO V&R Clips, and BOLO TVV. Yesterday there was a bombshell report that came out about deportees, and of course there was a press conference that was held earlier. I just got up, so here I am, ladies and gentlemen. Parliament has started, but I not pay them no mind right now. This thing is too important. I hope they talk about it in Parliament, because some interesting things were said by Mr. Horace Chang in questions and answers. Trust me, it's going to blow your mind if you haven't listened to it as yet, and I'm going to react to it right now. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Horace Chang at the podium answering some questions regarding the alleged 10,000 deportees that is supposed to enter into the country. So around those particulars in terms of information that's out there, I guess Horace Chang and the government is here to give us some clarity, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see if things have gotten any clearer since they have done this press conference, or if we are in more confusion. Let's get into it, right? Let's go.
It's very good to have a minister who's that responsive to the needs of the business community and also households that are rebuilding. So thank you, Minister Hill, and thanks to your team. I want to acknowledge your permanent secretary who is here, Sansia Bennett Templar. I also want to acknowledge our CEO in the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Terry.
Like and share the video, guys, please.
Here. I also see the new head of the Jamaica Information Service here. Good to see you, Giovanni. We need with us, or Deputy Matter. Please welcome.
Good morning to the teams here. I think been recognized by both this moderator and my predecessor, Minister Hill. It's my privilege to join my colleague this morning at this press briefing. As I said, there seemed to be a very great turnout, so there might be some expectations. I don't know how much I can satisfy that. But there have been issues in the news recently. A privilege to speak to the TCN, third country national that I passed through Jamaica, but it has been headlined a number of the features which I need to clarify before I speak, and I'll do the clarification and take the questions. First of all, Jamaica is not receiving any deportees from the United States, except Jamaicans. I repeat that. We are not we have no agreement, no understanding to accept deportees from the United States. We accept every month 100 Jamaican deportees. And we have the expertise and the staff to manage their entry into Jamaica. That arrangement was negotiated by professionals so that they can come in a structured, organized manner and be resettled in Jamaica, their homeland. The cost of that is all Jamaican. We are receiving, and we have no agreement to, or understanding, in more years, to receive convicts from the United States. And this, of course, the Jamaicans are deported, which we have agreements, because America is our primary ally and primary partner in trade and in security. And we do have deportees from Jamaica to the United States from time to time, or we have occasionally from the United States convicts. But we have no agreement, no understanding, and there are no discussions to accept convicts from the United States. In fact, anyone coming from the United States is reviewed by the NIB before I indicate that they can land in the country. There is no discussion, review, or understand to accept 10,000 illegal immigrants from the United States. Again, the only illegal immigrants we take from the United States are the Jamaicans who are there. And those conditions are negotiated by professionals from the Ministry of National Security and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have signed, after extensive negotiation by the relevant professionals, again, mainly from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of National Security, Office of the Prime Minister, and of course, the lawyers from the Attorney General's office. An agreement to transition to Jamaica some third country nationals from the United States. The number is 25. It's an understanding, and at no time will the number exceed 25 because we have the right to refuse anyone at any time. And both parties can terminate the entire agreement without any long-term notice. The process is basically operational. Procedure is still being worked out and being negotiated by the professionals, and it will be some time before we see anyone landing here. But when they do, they will come on the basis of an understanding that the government of the United States will pay the initial stay in Jamaica. They'll be accommodated by the International Organization for Migrants, United Nations body, which we are working, and of course the Ministry of National Security will deal with the technical legal side. There'll be nobody detained, nobody with detention, as part of an international understanding, not a bilateral agreement. The activity to transition them to Jamaica is a bilateral agreement negotiated between the governments who are allies in many areas, and in economy, security, and otherwise. Those are the facts as they are. We are among the about number 7 to agree in the Caribbean Latin American region, because our technical team sat down and negotiate all aspects of the issue. We are a small country. The staff to deal with the immigration section, that aspect, are limited, and therefore they have to go through the logistics of it. As I said, we already received just under the legal immigrants. They are Jamaicans, but they still have to go through a process. Already agreements were made between the United States government, Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, Antigua, St. Kitts, and Barbados, and they're discussing with other teams, which they expect to conclude in due course. We have concluded ours, but we don't expect any visitors until, I said, we set off on the operational details, which are not yet settled. And that's a matter that professionals will negotiate and settle that we can handle them. Any questions? Those are the facts.
Thank you, DPM. So we're being efficient again, and we've given you the details. You would have seen the press release that was done yesterday. It gave a lot of information in there, and the reason a lot of
want to get the most out of one sheet.
Dora the Explorer is so condescending in her tone. Never notice?
efficient again, and we've given you the details. You would have seen the press release that was done yesterday. It gave a lot of information in there.
That's her telling you, don't ask him too much questions, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to protect Oris Chang. Look at her face. Let me screenshot that. Mighty God, condescending. There's a lot of information in there. Let's continue.
And the reason a lot of information was given was because we wanted to say to the public, look, this is it. We've laid everything out. This is what is there. It's not finalized. There's some operational details to be finalized, but we gave a lot of details. And so we're here this morning ready to take your questions. Remember, Minister Hill is also here on the issue of cement, which has been in the public domain a lot. He can take questions there also. So let's go.
Nobody know why hear Mr. Harbin Hill. And Dennis Horace Chang will come out. She want to divert from Horace Chang, you know. He has spoken, don't ask him too much questions. Just listen to her tone.
Straight to the questions this morning.
Morning, everyone. Mahiri Stewart, Nationwide News here. Question for Dr. Chan. On who initiated the MOU and when was it signed?
No, MOU between countries are not about initiating that.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
This is why I can't trust the Jamaica Labour Party government. We are already on a low trust environment. The man asks a simple question, and I'm surprised that Oceanwide asked that question. Who initiated the conversation? Somebody had to start it. It's either it was Jamaica or it was the United States. No, you know, nobody starts. Brother, what kind of nonsense is that? But I'm not going to steal on that because more nonsense I'm going to talk, you know. Let's continue. I'm not going to steal on that nonsense. This is unbelievable. Simple question they can't answer. That's why I can't trust them.
Issue of cement, which has been
Laura, what's up? Ryan, what's up?
Questions
Salute.
also. So
Appreciate
let's go
y'all being
straight
here, man.
to the questions this morning.
Crazy.
Morning, everyone. Mahiri Stewart, Nationwide News here. Question for Dr. Chan.
Yes.
Who initiated the MOU and when was it signed?
No, MOU between countries are not about initiating that. The Americans have which is the country, the immigrants have an issue that they're trying to settle, and we are one of their allies in the Caribbean, and we had discussion, we initiated. We had discussion which has been prolonged, and
We initiated, what do you mean we? That means the United States and come together with the same time. It don't initiate same time, brother. Somebody had to start the initiation. Somebody had to say, yo, either them say, yo, you know, Jamaica say, listen, I realize that you have this situation where you need some help. We can help, you know. Zine or the United States say, listen, I have an issue and can you help? Somebody had to initiate it. So you're gonna say nobody initiated it. You can't trust them people, brother.
the country, the immigrants have an issue that they're trying to settle, and we are one of their allies in the Caribbean, and we had discussion, we initiated. We had discussion which has been prolonged, and we came to an agreement.
The agreement was when?
A few days back, I signed it.
You know, what them call it the fourth estate? The fourth estate in Jamaica is some weak jellyback. I mean, I really expect much from Oceanwide, but somebody else in the media that was there should have said, Mr. Chang, there was a question about who initiated this particular situation. Are you telling us that you guys just came together in a room and you just started to talk about this particular? Nobody said, yo, nobody called the other. Somebody clearly had to initiate it. Where is the journalism? Where is the journalism? And it's not just Oceanwide. Never show no more.
I think today is Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of last week.
So remember, Mahiri, that the U.S. government has these agreements with several other countries. So this is something initiated, an initiative.
Besides the minister, the Americans are our primary trading partner, primary security partner. We have bilateral relations with the United States, and what we call the ABC countries are very established. And discussions continue between governments. It's a fact of life. But discussions, bilateral discussions take place between governments that close on an ongoing basis. This is one in which they would have taken the lead because it's their problem, and one in which we can have some assistance.
Okay, the second question would be, obviously we're having this discussion now due to the fact that this is...
Fully done.
So now you answer the question. This would be one that they would have taken the lead. And also I feel like just around with Orchard. Me I question the mindset, me I question the intelligence of the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister. Because too many times I have seen them. I wonder if is the Lord exposing them to look like some buffoon in front of it. How the hell the man asks you who initiated? Simple answer. Well, the United States came to us. Or is that a lie? Is that the reason why you were baffling? Because in slide around the question, you know, and come around back a while ago, we said this, you know.
Discussion take place between governments that close on an ongoing basis. This is one in which they would have taken the lead because it's their problem, and one in
Brother, why you never said that long time? Yo.
Hey, who mess is this? Oh, man, is this?
they have some assistance.
Okay, the second question would be, obviously we're having this discussion now due to the fact that this information was leaked, but had it not been, when
No,
would
no,
you have...
the information leaked is different from what I'm talking about. And that's not the problem. You're conflating two things. Some information suggesting that we were in the process of negotiating the reception of 10,000 illegal immigrants. There is no such discussion, and that we cannot do it this morning. It became part of the discussion because it is known that we were discussing the third country transit third country nationals through Jamaica, because there are several other countries in the Caribbean. We signed on Wednesday and we decided we'll make a statement on it, and I reserved that statement for the diaspora event in Montego Bay yesterday, and we would have sent the press release out at normal.
Okay, well, for Jamaicans who are deported, are they or have Jamaicans ever been part of a TCN program from other countries?
What Jamaican?
For Jamaicans who would have probably been deported from
No, I'm not. For Jamaicans who are deported?
from other countries, has there been an issue where Jamaicans have been a part of
No,
TCN?
if Jamaicans have been deported to Jamaica, there's no issue. We receive them. The Americans, United States of America, have the vast.
Yo, this man totally missed the question that Ocean Wide is asking him. You know. When I tell you, and you're going to realize it if you're paying attention, because he's going to answer the question later on down the line. He's asking him, has there any Jamaican been a part of the TCN program where they are sent to another country for whatever reason because they don't want to come back to Jamaica? And the man, no. He doesn't listen. He don't. How is this man getting paid to be our national security? No one them chat so much foolishness. And I talk about body worn cameras. I go put the police them in a danger because them have one light on it. Yo, you know what? I got a lot of things to talk about today, man. Y'all share this live stream, bro. Y'all share this live stream. This is gonna be another marathon because there's a whole lot of nonsense going on in Jamaica. I'll tell you that right now. A whole lot of nonsense. It's crazy.
Majority of illegal migrants from Jamaica, of all illegal migrants, and we have an understanding between those. So they send us about 100 every month. I think they are looking at maybe sending back to Jamaica with over 3,000 Jamaicans. If we didn't have an understanding on how to handle it, negotiated by the professionals who have to do the work, all I do is set the policy. And there's no policy in that. Once a Jamaican is deported to Jamaica, we must receive them. What has happened, because we are friends, we work out a structural arrangement which allows us to manage it in an effective and efficient manner. And therefore we take 100 a month, roughly. 2 shipments, 2 aircraft. Sometimes 100, sometimes less than 100.
Stop the cap.
Could you elaborate more on the accommodation?
Right now, stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
But man, America have no friend here. America have interests. Please believe me. America has no friends. You are no friend of America. So don't be fooling the people of Jamaica and fooling yourself at the same time. Let's continue. No friends.
That's your last question, Gary. There are other reporters
Accommodation
here.
for?
Third country nationals.
No, well, that's one of the issues that has been worked out. We'll have to work with the International Organization of Migration to find the appropriate accommodation for them. Until that is done, we can't receive any.
Morning, Francis from the Gleaner. Just to clarify, the Gleaner at no point reported that 10,000 TCN illegal immigrants coming to Jamaica.
Not TCN,
At no point.
deportees.
At no point. Question.
No, don't confuse those, 10,000 deportees is different from 10,000 TCNs. They are
The
not
MOU
deportees, they are not even detained, they have been transitioned to Jamaica, and they have to put in a comfortable place to stay.
So, first question from this person. I need to look at the definition of deportee because it look like say we are all getting it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it appears as if, you know, I was live on two different things at the same time. And I didn't realize it. Man, that must have been confusing. I don't know how y'all work that out. But anyway, let me just open up. Hey, yo, this is wild, man. This is some wild stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go in the interest of you know, us having the whole thing right. Let us go and look at the definition of deportee, because maybe something is wrong with us, guys. Maybe we're the one that got it wrong, right? Deportee, meaning. Alright, so let's look up what deportee means. Alright, so a deportee is an individual. Oh shoot, I need to actually put that up so persons can see. Yes, it has to be a part of the reaction. Alright. Alright. Awesome. Alright, so let me share my screen for you guys. So you can see what I see. You can see what I... So a deportee is an individual who has been officially ordered by the government authority to leave a country and is being or has been sent back to their home country or another jurisdiction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if something wrong with me or something wrong with Horace Chang, but that is the direct definition of the people that is being sent here by the United States. They are being sent to their own country. So how are they not deportees? Oh, no, they're not deportees. Because deportees sound bad. Deportees have a negative connotation. So you don't want to put deportees beside their name. Man, what the hell is going on, man?
What can go so? Who mess is this? Oh, man, is this?
No, don't confuse those, you know. 10,000 deportees is different from 10,000 TCNs. They are not deportees, they are not being detained, they are being transitioned to Jamaica, and they have to put in a comfortable place to stay.
Bad man, them are deportees. They are being transited to Jamaica to go to them country where they might get deported to. Or wherever they might deport them to. As a matter of fact, according to UNO, some of them can choose to stay. It is an option on the table. How are they not deportees? So when they deport the Jamaican people, if them are prisoner, they don't serve them time, brother. They want to take people for idiot, you know? And the journalists, then they laugh for the man before them put them and make the... Just make embarrass them and make the world know so the man might idiot, brother. And that's enough to do. That's what you should do. No, Mr. Chang, the definition of a deportee is somebody, then what do you actually mean? A foolishness the man talking about. But let's continue, because what more foolishness the man going to talk?
The MOU we were privy to that came from the US's embassy classified them as deportees.
All right, my friend. Applause. Applause. Wanna take your microphone?
Take his microphone. Just a minute.
Yeah, man. Take our strong microphone.
Just a minute.
Mass control what go on.
Take his microphone. Usher him out.
All right, Mass.
Usher him out. Usher him out.
Of course, them are deportee, Jody. This man, the lady, thank you very much. Big up, you know, I'm going to make sure I'm going to take down your picture. Because you are one of them who challenge the man for the nonsense we talk. This is what we expect from the Fourth Estate. This is what we expect from our journalists. The actual document that came from the United States actually says that they are deportees. So what the hell are you talking about, Horace Chang? Now you're contradicting the document from the United States? Make it make sense, ladies. These people cannot be trusted. Like and share the video, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty God. Unbelievable.
Question, just seeking clarity.
Crickets.
The MOU we were privy to that came from the US's embassy classified them as deportees.
Crickets.
Question, just seeking clarity. Did
Crickets.
the US initiate
What's up,
contact with
Sassy?
Jamaica regarding the TCN arrangement? Or did a senior government official
What's
first
up,
communicate
Asabol?
that Jamaica is amenable to such an agreement?
No, TCN is an American request. They have done so with several allies across the region and throughout the world. So it's their challenge that they're trying to resolve in a human way.
So we never suggested it that
No, we
would
could
be-
suggest that. We don't have a problem. That's why we suggest. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a problem. On this occasion, they are friend and
Julian.
they're assistant to resolve the problem.
Julian, big up.
Did the US
Antonio.
at any time communicate that the arrangement could see Jamaica receiving up to 10,000 third country nationals?
No, there's no such discussion between the governments of Jamaica.
Through no communication at all.
No.
Okay.
Well, if somebody talked to them on the street, I don't know about that. I am responsible, and the minister, all communication that goes to the government of the United States, I've personally indicated said to the diplomats, it goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They come from my office. Any communication with the United States government on immigration goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade.
Okay.
And no such communication or information has gone through.
Okay.
DBM, can I just add one thing? Cabinet decisions, there's no such cabinet decision on record.
That
No
too.
such cabinet decision. I've
Absolutely.
gone through all
If
the cabinet decisions.
They come to me to
Yeah.
Foreign Affairs, but again, I didn't get that far. It's just that we have had no such communication.
Again, it wasn't a decision. I asked about communication.
Right.
Why transit through Jamaica and not directly back to their
I like her. I like her. As a journalist, I'm talking. I like her. Please let him understand because they're conflating things. You're asking one question and they're answering another. And they're going to do it several times in this thing, you know, to the parts that I watched, you know. Let's continue.
country or their destination country?
No, that's a
Directly into decision. I asked about communication.
right.
Why transit through Jamaica and not directly back to their country or their destination country?
No, that's a technical issue which have been discussed, and it is, as I said, several countries. And while Jamaica is one of the an American island in the Caribbean, and we work that through. It's the way it goes. I think the philosophy behind it, and I can say that is why is that if they stay in the United States, they have an opportunity to apply to stay. So the people are coming in, they're coming literally from being apprehended at the border and sent to Jamaica after some routine checks are done. They don't intend to stay in Jamaica, so the United States pay their airfare and they go back home. Their return rate so far has been about 94%. A few have opted to stay. There are a couple of Jamaicans in other countries who are not going back to Jamaica. Yep.
Yes, the same answer the question from before that the brother from Nationwide asked. The man asks, is there anybody that has been Jamaican that has been, a part of the TCN, meaning say them go to other countries and they don't come back to Jamaica. And him said, him cut him off and answer one total different question because him frustrated, Him frustrated, him flustered, he doesn't really want to be there. And it appears to me as a man who don't like to answer question neither. Like him very impatient. Like, who are you to ask me a question? I get that type of vibe from him. Like, why are you asking me nonsense? Like, everything is nonsense to him. When him talk nonsense. So the man asked him before about this same TCN thing. Is there any Jamaican that has been a part of the TCN program? Obviously, I just mentioned it a while ago. Let's play it back.
They're coming literally from being apprehended at the border and sent to Jamaica after some routine checks are done. They don't intend to stay in Jamaica, so the United States pay their airfare and they go back home.
Key, they don't intend to stay in Jamaica. That suggests that they have an option to stay. I want you guys to really let that sink in, They don't intend to stay in Jamaica. That means there's an option for them to stay, ladies and gentlemen. So they don't want them in America because they'll be able to apply to be a citizen. So Jamaica turned this big old transit garbage bin for the United States, Take them. We don't want them. Because we don't want them to come to apply to become an American. But, hey, they might stay there for 30 days and apply to become a Jamaican, innit? Oh, and by the way, there's an option for them to stay. What? Jamaican people, you have to accept this? They're telling you without telling you, you just have to listen. Oh, let's continue.
Their return rate so far has been about 94%. A few
Return rate 94%, so 6% stay. Hello? 6% stay. Let's continue.
have opted to stay. There are a couple of Jamaicans in another country who are not coming back to Jamaica. They're the
Them couple of Jamaicans in another country will not come back to Jamaica. Yes!
United States. When that happens, the numbers in the next shipment drop by that number. So if all 25 decide to stay, so there'll be no crowding on Florida Jamaica. If all 25 decide to stay, we stop the program immediately.
If 25 person come to Jamaica and decide to stay out of the 25, you hear that again, Jamaica? They have an option to stay. Can you imagine? Me, I go to America and them divert me, them capture me because me I try to cross the border and them send me to Jamaica. As a secondary option, is obviously I never wanted to stay in my country. I want you to think about that. Obviously, I didn't want to stay in my country. And then they send me to Jamaica, the vacation spot. Well, then when we look at, if I'm informed and I look at what the police them is going on with, I probably would be scared and not want to stay in Jamaica because of the human rights violations that constantly happen. But that's a whole nother story. On the face of it, why would those persons want to leave? Let's continue.
And that's in the document. I don't saw the part of it, but that's in it. And then your report, you said you have a document, and I'm saying I don't know if you saw that.
All right, let's go to the next question.
Zara Burton, 18 Degrees North. Good morning. For how long will the MOU last?
It doesn't have an end point. No, it does still have the starting point either. It's an understanding which, while there's a need, we will work with. If we find it impossible to pursue it, we discontinue it.
How much will be paid per TCN to house them here as a government? How much will
I don't have that off the top of my head because it is being worked out with the IOM, and that will depend on where they are staying and how long they stay, which will be a short time. But that cost will be worked out, and the United States has a bulk sum that they will pay the fees from. It will vary from individual to individual for different reasons.
And is it a situation where whatever we get to house each one of the TCNs is, let us say, additionally, there will be some cushion in terms of revenue that we will be getting as a society, and also what...
Y'all need to pay attention to this question. Shout out to Zara Burton. Hey, listen to this. How does Jamaica benefit? Listen to this. Only listen to this, Jamaica.
One of the TCNs is, let us say, additionally, there will be some cushion in terms of revenue that we will be getting as a society, and also what will we be getting in addition to this money in return for doing this to help out our ally?
First of all, the initial bill will be paid by IOM, so there's no revenue to come to Jamaica. The idea of what we get out of it is not a relevant question. America.
What can go so?
In addition to this money in return for doing this to help out our ally?
First of all, the initial bill will be paid by IOM, so there's no revenue to come to Jamaica. The idea of what we get out of it is not a relevant question. America, I said, is one of our strongest bilateral partners. We have multiplicity of agreements, understandings, exchanges in all areas. It's not something you discuss. We do this today, we do that for you tomorrow. That's...
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher him out.
Fully done.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way. Hey, who mess is this? Oh man,
In addition to this money in return for doing this to help out our ally?
First of all, the initial bill will be paid by IOM, so there's no revenue to come to Jamaica. The idea of what we get out of it is not a relevant question.
Embarrassing.
We need some milk.
Jamaica, according to Horace Chang, Jamaica not get nothing out of this. No. We not benefit from this monetarily. That's his word. Whether you want to believe it or not, and that he must say. So make we explore that for a minute. So you're telling me that you guys are taking criminals into the country, deportees. Them are criminal in some capacity because they are trying to go in a people's country illegally, right? And you're gonna take them in with no financial benefit to we. The money where USA has sent for house them is going to be sent directly, not coming into the coffers of our funding. We want to make that sink in, you know. And that Horace Chang say, no mean say so, you know. Let's continue.
I said first of all, the initial bill was paid by our IOM, so there's no revenue to come to Jamaica. The idea of what we get out of it is not a relevant question. America, I said, one of our strongest bilateral partners. We have multiplicity of agreements, understandings, exchanges in all areas. It's not something you discuss. We do this today, we do that for you tomorrow. That's not a practice of any healthy bilateral relationship.
Is there any, or was there any pressure to Jamaica to engage? I know you said it was an American request, but was there any pressure in addition to the request for any other reason on us? Did they threaten to cut visas, or did they allow us to maybe have a revamp or reconsideration of processing of immigrant visas or something?
You're a long-standing journalist and an intelligent one. And
on a notice how Horace Chang got visibly flustered. That is a very uncomfortable question. Because there's questions as to why him can't go to America. And then no, so the United States use the visa card for enough country. And then no, so the Jamaican government official them don't want to lose them visa. As a matter of fact, there was a clip from Big Mama. There was a clip from Big Mama from Oceanwide. Zine, where him say, you remember the situation with Netanyahu and Israel and them position when they go to the EU and people, the other countries were voting against Israel and making statements about Israel, and Andrew Holness was criticized as to why he was so quiet and they did not stand in solidarity with the rest of the countries against Israel. And basically, Big Mama said, listen, we have to make sure that they don't jeopardize the visas. I'm going to see if I can try and find it, but let's continue.
no internet.
Request for any other reason on us? Did they threaten to cut visas, or did they allow us to maybe have a revamp or reconsideration of processing of immigrant visas or something?
You're a long-standing journalist and an intelligent one, and no international discussion proceeds along those lines. We're not at war with anybody. Iran and America at war, they discuss straight up.
So this man want for us to believe that you have to be at war with the United States for them use certain harsh negotiation tactics to get what they want. Horace Chang, who do you think you're talking to? You think you're talking to a bunch of boo-boo? It come like, let's continue, man. Because that reaction I get too long, you know.
Bombing about it, but that's a war. We are two friendly countries, we have bilateral discussion daily. That kind of discussion doesn't take place in a healthy bilateral relationship.
Reuters had this question: where from will the TCNs come?
There are people who have been found in the United States illegally.
What national? Do you have a cutoff on certain kinds of nationals or all kinds of nationals?
One of the operational features for some of the Caribbean islands are smaller than is that they are Caribbean nationals. But initial discussion, we were looking more that they speak English.
they speak English. That's the correct way.
Initially, that's not settled it in the operation, but that's what that's what primary demand at this point.
I think there's a question in front of you. I saw her hand go up first, and then we'll go back.
And just confirming, it's a cabinet decision, you said, right, Minister?
Which, the TCN?
You said there was no
Yes.
cabinet decision.
No, there was no cabinet decision on what was asked previously about the 10,000.
Right, but I'm saying it was a cabinet
there is a
decision in
cabinet
order to
decision
engage in
on
this MOU.
TCN, and that
No,
would have been
all
discussed.
them were to find we have to inform cabinet.
Yes.
Right, so it was a cabinet decision ultimately,
Yes.
even though you, Minister, signed.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how MOUs work. You have to take them to
No,
cabinet.
I'm a creature of cabinet.
Okay.
It doesn't, anything I do on behalf of the government have to be approved by cabinet. As I say, a creature of instruction that has to come from cabinet and the Prime Minister.
Good morning, Adira Truth from Roots 96.1 FM. My question is actually to Senator Hill. The question, yes.
Thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Only hear she glad say one question gone to Senator Hill. Because I pressure with Orange Strong under. You hear she? Yo, me say, them can't even hide it, brother. They under pressure like, whoa, me not even want to hear from Senator Hill. Respectfully, of course, I don't want to hear from you, sir, about cement and cement shortage. I don't want to hear from you. That was 7 months ago. That was like 7 months ago. I don't want to hear from you about that. Yeah, but how is it a cabinet decision when cabinet don't know about it? Who make up the cabinet?
Bobbing Hill.
Sure. Come on over.
And so
As an administration, government and any
human rights problem. Is that also the government's position? Shock has says, Senator.
The specialized prisoner.
Alright, may I have to do this? When I try to go up on TikTok, but that's Tanya. No, it works, so I'm not force it. I'm not force it TikTok to the attack. TikTok have go yet. Mommy, Mom. Should I realize they do about? Alright, so TikTok, I'm live right now. The link to my YouTube page is in the bio. Pull up. But I want you to listen to something here that I just heard. A question in the press conference with Dana Marstic. So listen to this.
We have. Oh.
I do have a question for Senator Dana Morris Dixon. Minister, the Justice Minister, Delroy Chuck, has said that Jamaica does not have a human rights problem. Is that also the government's position?
Well, obviously, we are a country that believes deeply in human rights. That has been at the heart of.
Right there, so you need to stop her. That's not the question she asks. Is it the position of the government that there's no human rights problem in Jamaica? Let's continue. Listen to her.
Or mandate. And even if you look in our manifesto from last year that we used to tell the public what we were doing, we actually wrote about human rights and how important human rights are in terms of this government. And I think if you look at our track record, that's been very clear that that is a guiding principle of this administration. So I believe this administration deeply, deeply believes in human rights. And I think we've been operating under that premise as an administration. And you see it in the
Fully done.
And the support for the institutions we've given human rights is important.
And if I may ask a final.
No more as a journalist, miss. And this is not for you, I'm not attacking you. But you listen to what she said? Why you never said to her, say, you never answer my question? I asked you, is it the position of the government that there's no human rights problem in Jamaica? Yes or no? Is this a sole opinion of the Justice Minister, or do you all share the same opinion? That question was not answered enough. She went around the moon and back, ladies and gentlemen.
Fully done.
Mighty God. And these people are getting paid that amount of money. If you come, them can't even answer clear questions. Where's the comprehension And I'm not the best person where comprehension is concerned, I'll tell you that. I'm not the brightest. But I'm not getting paid millions of dollars a year. You are. So why is my IQ and understanding at the same level or more than yours? Why are you getting paid all this money? Oh, my bad mind now, don't. No, me expect better from people who are supposed to be leaders. Answer the damn question. Answer the question. Answer the question. It's a very simple question. But you went around the moon. Unbelievable. What an embarrassment. And she's the education minister? Shame. Shame. Absolute shame.
One question to Senator Albin Hill.
Sure.
You know why you don't go Marvin Hill, you know?
So limited
Go on.
ending thoughts at hearings and found did.
Oh, you're not go Albin Hill. Albin Hill can't stay.
Prime Minister said that only two. And what does the government?
Thank you for that answer, and all of that also came to cabinet. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Jamila Maitland from TVJ. To Minister Chang, what does the government believe, our cabinet believe, is the most challenging part of this TCN arrangement?
Good question.
And two, I noticed that other countries in the Caribbean, as you mentioned, have similar programs. In St. Kitts and Nevis, for example, the Prime Minister said that only Caribbean nationals will be accepted under their program. Is it I know you said that you're not sure about the nationality so far, but is it a similar case where you're saying only Caribbean nationals will be accepted? And what guarantee does the government have that the countries will accept their nationals after coming here?
All right. First of all, the operationalization has not been finalized in terms of what to do to operationalize. And in talking to the professionals, well, in exchanging thoughts with the professionals who are doing the discussion, this is a matter that I discuss with technical people in the ministry who have experience and found that the primary criteria established that they should speak English, which they should speak English. We have put nothing else on it. We prefer if there are people who have skills and if they can speak English, it makes it easier to come to Jamaica. That's the only criteria. I have personally confirmed with the technical people. We look, which they should speak English, who have experience and found that the primary criteria established that they should speak English, which they should speak English. We have put nothing else on it. We prefer if there are people who have skills and if they can speak English, it makes it easier to come.
Jamaica. Only hear what man say a while ago? He prefer if they speak English and they have skills.
Emotional damage.
Could this be a transatlantic skill trade, workers trade? Let me say it that way. A transatlantic workers trade. Well, it could be transatlantic because it's not like them going to cross the transatlantic. But why them need skills? Why prefer if them have skills? They want them to come work at Jamaica? Da-da-dee. Hey, me tell you say, me I want to look brother we have look sense, you remember the question them when I ask Jamaica? Do you guys remember the questions I was asking from yesterday? That's very, oh my, let's play that back. Let's play that back.
In the ministry, who have experience and found that the primary criteria established that they should speak English, which they should speak English. We have put nothing else on it. We prefer if there are people who have skills and if they can speak English, it makes it easier to come to Jamaica. That's the only criteria. I have personally.
So, the new workforce is coming from America through the TSN, it appears. The people to replace you, Jamaica. The people to replace you. Mighty God. So now the police, them can go and eliminate some youth in the street. And then, them can catch some other people who have skills to come replace, or replace we. Yeah. I now put myself in that. Yeah. We just labor rights? Yeah. Let's continue.
So they confirmed with the technical people. We look at other things. Jamaica is bigger than St. Kitts, and therefore we are like a more metropolitan country. We have Spanish tourists, we have German tourists, we have Japanese tourists. So the likelihood is that we'll get third country personnel from across the globe. We are seen as a possible assistance, not just to take a few for ease the pressure, but we have extended air transport out of here to Europe and elsewhere. And that's why we have been asked to assist, and that we'll therefore work with our Jamaican professional work their counterparts to see how to operationalize when we settle the other issues like accommodation and timing and screening as is required, because we screen them coming in anyway. But we will have some indications, and the NIB will look at that to ensure when we have the names, we're not getting criminals or somebody else of ill repute. There's no guarantee what you're in this kind of agreement. There's no guarantee either way. When they get here, there are people who are moving illegally through very difficult challenges to get to the United States. As I said, they have been to other countries, and their immediate response in the first fortnight to get out is over 94% leave back to home country. They are not criminals. There are more people looking at a different opportunity. Jamaica, we have a big name, which is justified and a good brand. But the raw reality, which we sometimes tend to overlook, our per capita income is $7,000 per capita. It doesn't offer opportunities to people who are seeking to achieve a certain level of quality of life away from Jamaica and to live their dreams. They're out of a country with a per capita income of $8,000 per capita. And that's where they're heading for. Majority are going to look to head back home and find a way back in the United States. Like some Jamaicans do, we take them in.
So, the country that hold on, let me gather my thoughts. This is hilariously embarrassing. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute, man. Let me save this to draft. Wait a damn minute. Hold on, hold the phone. Oh my God. Let me play that again, bro. Let me just play that again. This is wild. Let me play that again. Damn. It's that bad, son? It's that bad. Wow, man. Sheesh. Lord have mercy.
Achieve a certain level of quality of life away from Jamaica and to offer up them to we have a big name, which is justified, and leave back to home country. They are not criminals. There are more people looking at a different opportunity. Jamaica, their first fortnight to get out is over 94% leave back to home country. They are not criminals. There are more people looking at a different opportunity. Jamaica, we have a big name, which is justified and a good brand. But the raw reality, which we sometimes tend to overlook, our per capita income is $7,000 per capita. It doesn't offer opportunities to people who are seeking to achieve a certain level of quality of life away from Jamaica and to live their dreams. They're out of a country with a per capita income of $8,000 per capita. And that's where they're heading for. Majority are going to look to head back home and find a way back in the United States. Like some Jamaicans do, we take them in this week and they find a way back to the United States next week. People are doing that kind of activity. That's how they behave. And when we, in the real world, as government, we have to take decisions based on what we see as best practice.
So, Jamaica Labour Party that campaigned 10 years ago on prosperity, that campaign on 4 in 5 years, 4% growth in 5 years or 5% growth in 4 years, whichever they want. That talked about all of these wonderful statistics, unemployment being down, Jamaica being the place to live, work, retire. Persons that are running away from their country to America, admittedly, you know, Orange Strong is saying, man, these people are not going to stay in Jamaica. Yo, this is so embarrassing and sad all at the same time. I guess guys, you should be just comforted of the reality that these people would not want to stay in Jamaica, because the opportunities that they seek would not be here. So rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, these people that are deportees, whether criminals or not, that is coming from, you know, through the TSN program, they wouldn't want to stay in Jamaica because the opportunities are not here. Wow, this is embarrassing. We don't feel away. And I think the labor right should feel away because of them they in a power. They have to feel away, man. Not true? Mighty God.
We can't make guarantees.
All right.
And I said, the other countries where the per capita income doubles ours, they have moved, as in 94% moved within 2 weeks. And I said, the understanding is, if they stay here, we don't take anymore. And make that very clear. At extreme end, if 25 say, the first 25 come and say, we're staying in Jamaica. You may not have the income, you may not see the jobs, or the, they might be professional, like the one Jamaican professional who is staying where they are. No, they have no interest in coming back to Jamaica. They get a job and they actually get a pace compared to Jamaica, but they want to stay there. They may say that. If 25 come, then the program stops. And repeat that. If the 25 come and say, we're staying in Jamaica, the program stops. Ceases. Immediately.
All right. I believe we have Liver now. Good.
Morning, everyone. Liver and Barrett, the Gleaner Company. Minister, I wanted to just pick up my question is right where you left off just now. Given that the agreement is now signed,
yeah,
can you tell the people of Jamaica what framework the government has put in place to ensure that none of the TCNs that we accept, that they don't leak into the Jamaican society? That's one. No. And two, Minister, can you sort of explain the difference in the handling of a TCNs as against the handling of the Haitians when they come here?
The TCNs are being brought here under understanding we have worked out with the United States government, and then they are handled in conjunction with the IOM. Haitians are coming here illegally. They are all illegal migrants, and we take position to return them to their home as quickly as possible, directly. We don't have to send them to a third country. Those who stay apply for asylum, and we have to keep them in a place of, so we have to detain them until then. We don't detain TCNs. They're transitioning or literally transitioning through the country. You go to an airport and you're transitioning it, you wait a flight to the next one. If you land, technically it's almost similar to that. So the Haitians who are here, their cases are in court. Some have gone as far as they go to our courts first and they go to the international courts and they seek to get asylum. If they receive asylum, we keep them. It's international law. If they fail to receive asylum, then we send them back home in the nearest. Well, the best way we do it, we use our ships and send them back home. Two different things. We have a set of people coming from a friendly country which we do and negotiating that understanding to bring them here and transit them to their home country. Haitians are coming here illegally, and we treat every other illegal migrant. We get illegal migrants from Pakistan, if I recall, kind of like recent ones, and other countries, and we send them back on the next flight. We get illegal migrants from the United States. Sorry. Interest in the what?
How do they leak into Jamaica?
No,
What are safeguards?
It's not about the leaking. We have received them in the country. Our status. They're here. They're not leaking. If they choose to stay, then we have to deal with it differently. Well, not differently. If they choose to stay, then they will have to apply to our courts for us.
You're one sentence away from launching your web.
Jamaica on a listen. Hey, boy.
Asylum status, and if they get accepted to apply to our courts for asylum status, and if they get asylum status, we retain them. If they don't, we send them home. At that time, we'll have to send them home at our cost.
All right, so I'm gonna take.
So hold on a little bit. That is very interesting. So if they decide to stay here and they apply and that doesn't work out, we have to go pay for them garden yard. Jaja God. Jamaica, this is all types of madness. This is all types. Let me play that again. Wow. Wow.
If they choose to stay, then they will have to apply to our courts for asylum status, and if they get asylum status, we retain them. If they don't, we send them home. At that time, we'll have to send them home at our cost.
We, our tax dollars. Our tax dollars now. I forgot to send them home now. More that sinking, more that soak and marinate. Don't make that fly over on the head, you know. Why you think, hey, me never listen to part about that one that shake me up, me not lie. That part that shake me up.
All right, so I'm gonna take Crystal. Crystal, you're the last question.
Okay, yes, and my question is for you,
Name
Senator.
and-
My name is Crystal Williams from CVM News,
Sure.
and I'm asking Senator Dr. Morris Dixon if you can give an update on the state of Port Antonio High as they've lost a student, and Ascot High as they've lost a teacher both to gun violence recently.
Yes, no, that's, and you have the Minister of National Security and Peace here. And it is something that is affecting our school community big time. And that's why when we see the decline in the murder rate and crime generally, we in the Ministry of Education celebrate because it means less of our children are affected, less of our families are affected. Our children are experiencing a lot of trauma in their homes, through violence in the home, and also in their community.
Yo, this lady doesn't answer the question. Her mind is wired to protecting the image of the government. You see, recently, when you look at the crime rate going down, that's not the question. No, but you like they have no emotional intelligence. A teacher died. That's not how you answer that question. What is wrong with this lady, man? You don't start out answering the question talking about nobody cares about the murder rate, brother. You know much people that died even by the hands of the police that don't come in the news? Not everything comes in the news. I just because I can't talk about certain things and I don't want to. I'm a whole in a lot of things when me hear. Because I don't want to go back to the people them. A lot is going on in Jamaica that the people, it don't come in the news. We don't care about the murder rate, Bridging. A teacher and a student died. Stick on that. How about, listen, we're going to need to pour into that particular institution. They're going to need counseling, condolences to the family. How about those things first? Instead of defending the status quo of this stinking Jamaica Labour Party. Disgusting, man. And I'm so sick of it. Mighty God.
It is. And that's affecting how they're learning. And so I have a challenge, and the team in the ministry has a challenge in terms of the country says we need to get better CSEC passes. And I agree, we need to get there.
How did we get here? This lady, man, what the hell is going on, bro?
Embarrassing. We need some milk.
How did we get here?
Fully done.
How did we get to see? How did we get to passes? Bro, how did we get to passes? How did we get here? Passes? Alright guys, so I think that's all for Horace Chang. I don't think he answered any more questions. Let me skip past this lane because I don't. Yo, Jaja. Let me see. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
School violence is something we recognize the problem. Besides direct violence, we also know that if primarily near to the zone of the program that will prevent.
Got it. Then after the negotiation, we've even heard of the persons who need to do burials and having issues with that shortage. We've been listening and put it as you heard to you and say to the where we'll again make ourselves
here. Yeah. Just for information.
Yo, guys, please hit the like button, share the video, and let me know what you think about my reaction to Horace Chang press conference and questions and answers. Thank you. Alright, let's move on. That lady really is irks my spirit. The lady talking about C-Tech passes Saturday. We know you deal with. C-Tech passes, bro. And the lady asks, no, me can't, them people. No man, something wrong with them, brother. Them come like, them soulless. Them just wired, thank you, mama, that is the perfect word. They are wired. Them have a defense mechanism where they're wired in them. Anytime trouble happen, problem and chaos in the country, they go to statistics instead of the present reality and the problem. What kind of nonsense is this, brother? Anyway, somebody brought something to my attention that I definitely have to go and check out. Right? Yeah, somebody reached out to me. Because I didn't even watch the diaspora conference now. But what she said, what the person sent to me, it made me want to go and actually check it out. So I'm gonna go and check it out, right? Man, I cannot believe this, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot believe this. Alright. This is just lady talk. Boy, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, yeah. This is wild, bro. These people are so out of touch with reality. I know me not hear the lady say nothing. In the first minute of her response, she said nothing about the actual issue of the student losing their life to gun violence. The lady went all over the damn place. And she did it before in another one, you know. When she was asked a question, you know, and I highlighted it. She never answered the girl. She started talking all type of gibberish. All type of gibberish, Jamaica. Give me a second there, man. What am I tell you? Yo, man, these people, bro. These people are a cancer in our society. I swear, God, I pray God remove them from their position. Talking about crime rate. That's not what she asked you about. She didn't ask you about no damn crime rate. Shut up. Disgusting, man. Anyway, let me look for the diaspora. Here them people are chatting about.
This is the largest investment Jamaica has made in community roads in its history. Madam Speaker, I want the country to understand clearly what Spark is and what Spark is not.
So, he might try for defense Spark. Is that a good thing when I listen to that? A good thing when I listen to that. That no worth listening to.
Of us here are proud to serve in his cabinet as we play our part in achieving a more stable, more peaceful, more resilient Jamaica filled with hope, and opportunity. And what that means for Jamaicans in the diaspora isn't perfection, but a Jamaica that works hard to be better every day, a Jamaica of which you are proud to work for and with, and in which you are confident to invest, and to which you plan to return. This is a vision of Prime Minister Andrew Holness that continues to inspire, and to which all Jamaicans continue to aspire. Would you please be upstanding and join me in welcoming the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
I want to play that lady audio first. That's what I want to do. She initiate this, right? Come on the phone, stop playing with me, man. I got people waiting. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I got a message from one of my subscribers, one of my supporters, in regards to the diaspora conference and Andrew Holness speech versus Mark Golding. So here we go. I want you to listen to what she said, then I'm going to play Andrew's speech and then play Mark Golding's speech and then give my reaction based off what she said, right? I give my own opinions on it.
I know persons are going to say, Bola, good morning, that Andrew Holness did not shake Mark Golding's hand at the diaspora conference. But they don't understand the God that we serve. And
before she go further, I am happy he didn't shake his hand. Smart man, Mr. Mark Golding, smart. Do not shake them hand. Alright? Yeah man, stay clean with General.
my discerning spirit is that the mark that is on Mark Golding, Andrew could not touch him. And if you recognize when the man went up to speak, he speaks with authority. And his speech was a speech that everybody had to sit, listen, because it's clean, it's powerful, it is the Lord's speaking through Mark. But when you look at Andrew's speech, people are going to say Andrew was very disrespectful. God confused the enemy. So he went up there and make an ass of himself. Because all that he speaks, and they're giggling and going like it's a gimmick or it's a joke business, is nothing that he could control. Because this is how God wants him to fall, because he's going to fall. And these are the things that he has to do in public for persons to see that is open, this grace. You recognize when the lady went up to speak and call up Mark Golding, how pronounced it was and how big it was. And like Camilla Johnson with her hypocrisy, you notice the dignity that was placed on Mark Golding. We all who have eyes to see and who can discern will soon understand what God is doing. And God is doing a mighty thing. God is doing a mighty thing. You have to come down, as Mark Stewart would have said. They have to come down. They have to come down. But they have to come down in open disgrace. And this was a disgrace to the diaspora. Because nothing that makes any sense and any semblance of sense to Jamaica and for the improvement and the development of Jamaica was spoken by Andrew Holness. Wait. The Lord said, wait, and those that wait upon the Lord, their strength shall be renewed. Wait. It's not long from now. Not long from now, very, very short order, Andrew come down.
Growing the economy, creating jobs, and improving the well-being of all Jamaicans, including the most vulnerable. He believes wholeheartedly that you, or diaspora, are a vital partner to Jamaica's development, and he recognizes that your continued commitment, ideas, and engagement collectively serve to strengthen the bridge between home and abroad. Since 2016, his leadership has secured strong macroeconomic achievements, including cutting debt to GDP by over 1/2, cutting homicides, serious crimes, and active gangs to the lowest levels in decades, the maintenance of inflation in the target range to manage the cost of living, stabilization of the exchange rate, massive social investments that have resulted in the lowest levels of unemployment, and significant improvements in the lives of the elderly, young people, and every Jamaican from all walks of life. These are all works in progress, and he never rests on his laurels, and he continues to lead Jamaica through some of our most challenging times. Those of us here are proud to serve in his cabinet as we play our part in achieving a more stable, more peaceful, more resilient Jamaica filled with hope and opportunity. And what that means for Jamaicans in the diaspora isn't perfection, but a Jamaica that works hard to be better every day, a Jamaica of which you are proud to work for and with, and in which you are confident to invest, and to which you plan to return. This is a vision of Prime Minister Andrew Holness that continues to inspire, and to which all Jamaicans continue to aspire. Would you please be outstanding and join me in welcoming the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Stop the cap.
No bullshit, bro. And when you check, please, be seated. I don't know, I just felt that a while ago. I mean, isn't Minister Johnson Smith such a wonderful minister? I believe she's the best minister of foreign affairs.
Stop the cap.
But I think she gave him a speech.
Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Kamina Johnson Smith are the best minister of foreign affairs. So does this man just start off every sentence with a lie? So the only time when Andrew is not a liar when he don't open him out? Bro, man, let's continue. Man, you gotta be kidding me, man. There ain't no way.
Bishop, the Honorable Conrad Pitkin, representing
Ain't
His
no
Excellency,
way.
the Governor General, the Speaker of the House, the Most Honorable Juliet Holness, Dr. Horace Chang, our Deputy Prime Minister. We affectionately refer to him as the President of the Republic of Montego Bay. And of course, my dear friend, Mr. Mark Golding.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
What I'm to lead of the opposition? My dear friend, that's so disrespectful. My dear friend, you're not friends. Mr. Uncertified. We are not the same. You're out of order. You're a lapdog for the United States. We are not the same. Don't mix up yourself with the leader. But you're not easy. What is man?
Mark, how could I forget you?
So you see, he came with subtle disrespect from the jump. The lady was right. He came as a clown, a comedian, an ass. You know, ass like the ass, the donkey them. Yeah, that's what he. You know, yeah, that's him. The ass in the circus.
You know, it was not always the case at these events that the leader of the opposition was invited to speak. But as this event evolved into more of a national event rather than a government-sponsored event, it became the protocol that the leader of the opposition, which is a constitutional position, quite a unique thing in constitutional innovations, to have the office of the leader of the opposition written into the Constitution. So Mark, we can never forget you. And we're always happy to have you here as leader of the opposition. That's how we do it in Jamaica. That is the strength of Jamaican democracy. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody fool you about Jamaica's democracy. There is no other country whose democracy is as strong as Jamaica. Believe me when I tell you that.
Stop the cap.
I've always said that Jamaica is the first.
No bullshit, bro.
Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop.
This dictatorship state, this police state under Andrew Onis, what democracy? Where? We're not even sovereign, much less.
Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody fool you about Jamaica's democracy. There is no other country who. I have always said that Jamaica is the first black democracy in the world.
This almost feels illegal to know if you're.
Why advertisement coming right time? Because we can't endure so much nonsense.
And I have not been contradicted successfully so far. But it is the truth. It is something that we can be proud of. And listen, democracy is not a sanitized exercise. It can be brutal. But many of you are from countries where the brutality of the democracy is probably worse. So you will understand that what you read in the papers and on social media, it's just part of the democracy. So let me welcome you all back home, back to Jamaica. I am very happy to see you, and I'm very pleased to see a super packed room. I mean, you look good. There is an energy among Jamaicans, and you can feel it even before anyone says a word. It's warmth, it's spirit, it's the memory of collective struggle, it's the swag, it's the assertiveness, it's the ambition. I think that's the word that describes us, ambition. And I feel it and see it in this room. Over the past 8 months, Jamaica has carried grief, loss, worry, and hard work. Hurricane Melissa tested us, but the Jamaican spirit held strong. When Melissa made landfall on October 28 last year, it came as a Category 5 hurricane. It's the strongest storm to have hit Jamaica, and it is the third strongest hurricane on record. In a few hours, communities built over generations were wiped out. The call went out, and you answered. From the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Panama, all over, wherever there were Jamaicans, wherever you planted roots, you responded. You sent funds, you organized relief, you spoke up for Jamaica, you called home, and you checked in. That made a world of difference. So before I speak about plans, programs, financing, or reconstruction, I want to begin with the simplest thing we do in Jamaica, which is to express gratitude. Thank you. Let me see the real Jamaicans who understand that. That's what my grandmother used to say, thank you. So, thank you. Thank you for proving again that distance has never weakened the bond between Jamaica and Jamaicans abroad. And this is why the theme of this 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference, Diaspora Partnership, Rebuilding a More Resilient Jamaica, already has flesh on it. You acted before the conference banner went up, you moved before the speeches were written, you showed what partnership looks like when we are tested. This week gives that partnership more structure, more focus, and more work to do. I'm happy to hear that there are projects already structured for communities that have been affected by the hurricane. Thank you for your service and your contribution. In 6 years, Jamaica faced COVID-19. You know, that's almost a distant memory. A global supply chain crisis, the war in the Ukraine, food and fuel shocks, Hurricane Beryl, Tropical Storm Raphael, Hurricane Melissa, and now another Middle East war.
Them opened it.
All of
He's
this
a jerk.
created
What's up,
pressure
Carly?
on our country, whether it is in energy, supply chain,
Definitely Fitzroy.
everything.
Narcissist.
And so, for a small, open economy, Jamaica, as a small island developing state, exists in a very brutal space. And we face increasing,
Yeah, man, chat slow, man.
overlapping, and greater intensity
No, don't it.
events. That is the nature of the challenge we face. But yet, Jamaica has held, and we have held up very well. Unemployment is at a record low. We're moving from as high as 13% 10 years ago to now just about 3.5%, the last figures that came out. It's a massive reduction. It has pushed us now, believe it or not, to practically full employment. And business people and employers will tell you that we now have another problem, a different problem, that we just can't find enough skilled labor to carry through the growth agenda. It's a good problem to have, but it's a problem nonetheless. And I'm hopeful that this will be teased out a little bit more in the conversations that you will have.
The man just made a bad problem sound like a good problem. Brother, majority of the youth, them don't have no job. And them not seeking none because the jobs are not payable. It's not livable wages. How is that a good problem? Absolute nonsense. And more lies and deception. Let's continue.
In the sessions to follow. Inflation is back within our target band of 4 to 6%, and we have kept within the target band, except for the COVID period, for the last decade. And that is exceptional for a small island developing state, where inflation was a real challenge for economic management.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
And developing state, where inflation was a real challenge for our economic management.
Stop.
No, I don't know what mean about the speech cut off this and that a PBS, and I'm so happy. Let's move to the real general Yama. Take this that off of my screen. Let's move to the real.
Please,
general.
for our mayor.
Stronger through this event. Yesterday it was good to see old friends being rekindled and new business opportunities being.
I am indeed humbled. Our unity and history's departments. We will work towards it.
Thank you very much.
I want to wish you all.
And we say thank you, Honourable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please, for the Honourable Lando Terrelon, our Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Now, we must apologize for the error in print on your program. It has an omission of our next speaker, but the correct version is in our official magazine. Democracy thrives when there is collective commitment to national development and a shared vision for progress. And today we are grateful to have Jamaica's opposition leader and Member of Parliament, Mr. Mark Golding, who will now bring his remarks. Please make him welcome.
One Mark G.
Thank you very much. Madam Master of Ceremonies. Overlooked but not forgotten. I'm grateful. Custos speaking, representing the GG, PM Holness, Mrs. Holness, other members of Cabinet, members of Parliament, councillors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure to stand here 7 to 8 months after that terrible hurricane that hit Jamaica and see all these faces who have come home to be part of this 11th biennial conference. The room is full and the vibe is good, and I'm very happy to be part of it. This, as has been said, this trend, this tradition now of biennial conferences to bring us as Jamaicans from all over the globe here to share ideas, share experiences, and contribute to our nation's development began with the first of these conferences back in 2004. And I want to take this opportunity just to acknowledge my former colleague, former Senator Delano Franklin, who had such a critical role in those early days in making this happen. It's good to acknowledge him at this time. I dare say there may be persons in attendance who were at the very first biennial conference. I see a couple hands acknowledging that. Enough respect for being here still. It has been said many times and in many different ways, but the reality is that Jamaica and the Jamaican family, we are a global people, and our country is blessed with this large reservoir of talent, of resources, of persons with a strong emotional connection to Yard that we call the diaspora. Yes, you are the most important source of Jamaica's foreign exchange supply, with higher net foreign exchange earnings than any other source. And not only are you a source of foreign exchange, but you are de facto the most important social safety net that keeps Jamaica and Jamaican society on an even keel. So we must never take your efforts for granted. And the fact that you are here today indicates that you wish to be part of the national development of Jamaica. And it is for us as leaders to find and create opportunities for you to play your part to the fullest in national development. I know, for example, that public boards would benefit by your participation, and I would encourage mechanisms to be established to facilitate your presence and participation on public boards in the country. There are over 100 of them, and they cover a wide array of very important activities. This is where you can contribute to the governance of the nation without the need for any new legislative arrangements and so on.
I just built a budgeting app.
What? How?
Base 44. Look, it pulls up.
What a big difference so far between Mark Gordon's speech and Andrew One's speech. What substance coming from the leader of the opposition? You would think that this is what you would get from the actual so-called leader of the country. So far. And now I understand what the lady is saying in the voice note about Mark Golding have this commanding, the integrity boss has this commanding, presence in his speech and in his tonnage. I can clearly hear it. You understand?
This is where you can contribute to the governance of the nation without the need for any new legislative arrangements and so on. We're meeting at a time when, as was said in the opening prayer, we are still feeling the residue of Hurricane Melissa. And I think it's very important, even in these pristine and magnificent surroundings here, that we do not forget or overlook that for many, many Jamaicans, they are still finding life incredibly difficult since October 28th, 2025. We have reports of schools where children are not attending in high numbers, small businesses and other business people struggling to get back on their feet, and many people still living under tarpaulins in parts of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, even southern St. James, and so on, Trelawney, parts of St. Anne. So what I would say is, even as we draw inspiration from that disaster and seek to reset our efforts to drive the economy forward and achieve the elusive levels of sustained economic growth that we need to generate wealth for our people and achieve our hopes and dreams, our priorities must be to restore the lives and livelihoods of those who are still suffering from that hurricane. And I urge the government, whether it be through NARA or whatever mechanisms are being put in place, prioritize the restoration of broken lives. Let those people get back on their feet so they can make their contribution to national development. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to speak for long. I just wanted to play my part in acknowledging your presence, thanking you for coming, and saying, God bless Jamaica, land we love, the greatest little country in the world. One love.
They've impacted people, but most recently by Beryl and Melissa. They've impacted.
Wow. What a major difference in substance compared to the nonsense and gimmickry that Andrew Honest came with in his speech and his disrespect. Mark Golding was to the point, you understand? He spoke to the moment and he didn't forget the people that are suffering the most while Andrew Honest was making jokes. This is a leader I am proud to stand behind. Mark Jefferson Golding, Sir the Right Honorable, Sir the Most Honorable, Mark Jefferson Golding. Stay humble. Stay humble, Marky G. You understand? And stay patient and be ready. It is soon time for you to be subbed in, to answer the call, to rescue, be a part of the rescue team for this country after the damage that Andrew Honest and his government has done and continue to do. The Integrity Boss, Marky G. Please like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. The lady that sent me the voice note, she was absolutely right. It is now confirmed. Let me play it again before I leave. This particular reaction. Before I end this particular, let's listen to the lady again.
I know persons are going to say, Bola, good morning, that Andrew Holness did not shake Mark Golding's hand at the diaspora conference. But they don't understand the God that we serve.
Wow.
And my discerning spirit is that the mark that is on Mark Golding, Andrew could not touch him. And if you recognize when the man went up to speak, he speaks with authority. And his speech was a speech that everybody had to sit, listen, because there it's clean, it's powerful, it is the Lord's speaking through Mark. But when you look at Andrew's speech, people are going to say Andrew was very disrespectful. God confused the enemy. So he went up there and make an ass of himself. Because all that he speaks, and they're giggling and going like it's a gimmick or it's a joke business, is nothing that he could control. Because this is how God wants him to fall. Because he's going to fall. And these are the things that he has to do in public for persons to see that is open, this grace. You recognize when the lady went up to speak and call up Mark Golding, how pronounced it was and how dignified it was. And like Camilla Johnson with her hypocrisy, you notice the dignity that was placed on Mark Golding. We all who have eyes to see and who can discern will soon understand what God is doing. And God is doing a mighty thing. God is doing a mighty thing. And you have to come down, as Mark Stewart would have said. Them have to come down. They have to come down. But they have to come down in open disgrace. And this was a disgrace to the diaspora. Because nothing that makes any sense and any semblance of sense to Jamaica and for the improvement and the development of Jamaica was spoken by Angel Holness. Wait, the Lord said, wait, and those that wait upon the Lord, their strength shall be renewed.
That's right.
Wait, it's not long from now. Not long from now. Very, very short order. Angela, come down.
Don't keep this to yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Share this reaction. One market G. And big up God, every time. Lord, we wait on you, Lord. We wait on you. Alright? See what I'm going on. So now. See what I'm going on. So let me take out this off my screen. Let me. Alright. One. Shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall and not weary. They shall and not. Teach me, Lord. Teach me, Lord, how to wait. Teach me, Lord, how to wait. Teach me, Lord, how to wait. Okay. Let me just. There are some stories that I wanted to share. Some people might not be aware of. So. Alright. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother BOLO V&R. There's a few stories here that have been happening that I would love to share with you. So this is going to be a miscellaneous reaction. It's going to be multiple things, yes? So the St. Ann mayor stated yesterday that St. Ann is prepared for hurricane season. There was an interesting comment on there. The person said, not the St. Ann that I know. I said, wow. There was a crazy accident in Miami Bay. This car is engulfed in flames. Yeah, I hope that nobody in that accident died, because that car is totally engulfed in flames. And the car is on its side as well. You understand? I saw that. This Jamaican team wins double gold at the Masters Cup in Colombia. And I want to say congratulations to him and for representing us. His name is Daniel Bali. All right, he delivered an outstanding performance last weekend at the Masters Cup at double gold. So it's Taekwondo, right? He's a Taekwondo athlete. These types of, achievements don't get highlighted. And I said that on my platform, I wanted to highlight him. So shout out to Daniel Bali. It takes a lot of discipline to be in those particular competitions. You understand? It takes a lot of discipline, and for him to rise to the top and get a double gold and represent our country of Jamaica so well, salute to him and his family. You understand? There was an incident that I'm not quite sure what started it, but yet another confrontation with the police. Thank God in this incident that nobody died, I hope. But from the video, I didn't see any harm come to the elder, but the police officer was being filmed and the other police officer, I believe, stopped it from happening. Listen to this.
Listen to me now. Big man that could be a part of that. You walk up with that brother. You walk up with that brother. You walk up brother. I want a big man brother. This is a car for that. Do something better. Do something better. You can't be big man so better. No giant boys so better. Do a come back and something you can't be big man so better.
So the police have a bat in their hand, approaching the man. I don't know what started it. As a country, we need to decide that if this is how the police is going to deal with citizens, because these type of force that the police them are use is only aggravating the matter. At some point, you got oil and water go bubble up in them face, you know, when you throw. You understand? It now go good. The direction where them are going now, in my opinion, are going to cause civil unrest at some point. And it's going to be the police against the citizens. There must be a more amicable way how to deal with the situation. This is an elder. Like I said, I don't know the details of the situation, but what you're going to do, you're going to take the baton and beat the man. And you're going to be justified in taking the baton. So, he never take instructions, so you're going to take one baton and beat him. There's no other way. Like, that was the intention, him actually take up the baton. You're going to take up the baton and beat him, abuse him, and subdue him. How is he a threat? How is he a threat to you? Isn't there any other way they can arrest people? Is there any other way? Them not have taser, them not have something can. Alright. You now listen to the police for your own safety and for lack of less confrontation and the nasty look of it. You tell me so there's no other way? This is acceptable. Like, and then again, I don't really understand why there was an issue in the first place. It was unclear. The other police, I'm not telling a lie, if it wasn't for him, the police they probably would have do that man this. Right? So big up the other police, calm my head prevail, because I tell the man say, yo, talk on your phone and come, man. So the man then some of them know the right thing. But then emotions and you get out of character. You know what I mean? Come on. This needs to cease and desist in Jamaica. And the police then need to look at themselves and observe the law. Feel me I deal with? At no point the police should violate the laws and the constitutional rights of the citizens. At no point. This man is not a threat. Where the button from? Policeman, a St. Elizabeth man was charged with chopping brother to death, wounding of mother and sibling. Alright, so a St. Elizabeth man was charged with that. District Constable granted $300,000 bail on ganja related charges. So, a District Constable accused of introducing prohibited items into a correctional institution was granted $300,000 bail. So, basically accused of selling the inmates weed. These are things that do happen in the prison system. 2 Jamaicans on King Charles' birthday honorists, Sir Patrick Vernon and Dame Beverly Lindsay, are among the honorees. I want to say a big shout out to them. That's a positive. Again, representing Jamaica in a positive way. Yes? And I hope their lives are pleasing. The way how they live is pleasing to the Most High as well. That is the greatest honor here on earth. This accident, car crash into the fuel pump, sparks fire at the St. Andrew gas station. Again, I'm asking people, please, please, be careful on the road, drive at a moderate pace, follow the speed limit, please, so we can avoid those situations, please. Now, in the meat and potatoes of this reaction, Mr. Lowton Cousins says cost of living, not squatting, is Jamaica's real crisis. And yes, Mr. Cousins, this article, your voice is welcome in the space, and I think it should have been sooner. That's all I would say. Well, let's hear what the article has to say, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. You know, most of the times when I actually go to start reading the article, that happens. Adverts. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is.
News June 16th, 2026 by Olivia Brown. Opposition spokesman on land Lot Hon Cousins has hit back at comments by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness that Jamaica's squatter culture is hurting the country. The Prime Minister was speaking last Friday during a groundbreaking ceremony for the Wick Hall Estate housing development in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Cousins, who is also the Member of Parliament, MP for Clarendon Southwestern, contends, instead, that the most pressing challenges are the rising cost of living, corruption, inequitable distribution of resources, and inadequate investment in rural communities. I've heard some comments, and I found those comments to be most unfortunate because squatter settlement came about from a law that was passed from the days of emancipation, he said while addressing supporters of the People's National Parties, PNP, Milk River Divisional Conference at the Milk River Primary and Infant School on Sunday. Our forefathers were not given that fair opportunity to own land in Jamaica, so we had to take land and occupy land that was idle. So for the Prime Minister of the country to say squatter settlements are hurting Jamaica, when the same squatter settlements are where they go and campaign and beg the people to vote, is hypocrisy, he chided.
Shots fired. Shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. This is the type of hypocrisy that needs to be called out. Thank you, Mr. Lothan Cousins. All right. Bring Andrew to the front of the class. Thank you, sir. Let's continue. My God.
Chided. Cousins argued that ordinary Jamaicans are being unfairly blamed for circumstances rooted in the country's history. He contended that if the government truly valued citizens, it would provide greater access to land ownership.
That's right.
Turning to economic concerns,
That's right.
Cousins said the cost of living crisis remains the issue affecting Jamaicans most. You know what is hurting Jamaica today? The cost of living crisis. Every single one of us who go to the supermarket and go to the market and try to pick up things from the shelves, we are feeling the burden. We are suffering. He also criticized what he described as political inequity in the allocation of government resources, arguing that communities represented by opposition politicians are often left behind.
Yes.
He labeled Jamaica as a country where only a few people are allowed to benefit from the resources of the government. Government. We have to suffer because we support a party that didn't win the election. Look at the roads. It is a crying shame and disgrace, Cousins said. The MP also targeted the National Works Agency, NWA, arguing that political interference is undermining the agency's effectiveness. The problem with the NWA is that the NWA is suffering from political interference, Cousins said. You cannot have people who go to university, who go to different countries and work and come back with superior expertise, and when they advise you, you override their advice. He pointed to the deteriorating condition of the roadway along Trenton Road, just outside the NWA's Maypen office, describing it as unacceptable.
Yo, Mr. Lothan Cousins came with the gauntlet, bro. Everybody getting this smoke. Everybody. Where's the lie, though? The NWA is definitely being influenced by political interference. That's a fact. I have people there that are, according to reports, that are not qualified, right, to do the job, but they are in position. Absolute madness going on in Jamaica. Let's continue. Boy, I tell you, boy.
Unacceptable. Looking ahead to future infrastructure development, Cousins urged the government to consider a direct route from Coleyville through Milk River and Alley towards St. Elizabeth as part of any highway expansion project, arguing that it would be more practical and affordable than alternative routes through the Spur Tree area. He also called for increased investment beyond the corporate area, advocating for a more balanced approach to national development and highlighting Milk River, Bath, and Burnhamfield in Clarendon Southwestern as key projects with the potential to drive growth and transformation. Rural Jamaica deserves their fair share of development opportunities. We need our fair share of resources. We pay taxes like anybody else, Cousins declared. He said residents would not remain silent while being denied opportunities and resources. We are not going to sit down idle and have you deprive the people of what is rightfully theirs, he said.
Yes, Mr. Cousins, raise a voice in concert. This is a very, very serious issue. And I want to ask the people listening to this particular reaction, So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Alright? Lorraine, big up your nice clean self, mama. Over there on BOLO V&R. Big up yourself. Alright? So let me know what you guys think, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Cousins, this was a timely article. As a matter of fact, let me see if you had put out any press release on the People's National Party official page. Because I didn't check it out. I think this deserves a press release. What is this now? Oh, interesting. So the miscellaneous oh, wait a minute. We have multiple press releases that are missed from the PNP. Let me add these into the reaction, ladies and gentlemen. Fresh off the gutter like 2 scoops of butter. We have Mr. Omar Newell, the 2 St. Mary representatives, and Christopher Brown with 2 timely reactions. I'm glad I caught these. Something told me. All praises to the Most High for giving me the signal to come over here. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a listen.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit. This is Omar Newell, Shadow Minister for Environment and Climate Resilience. I note with great concern comments attributed to Minister Matthew Samuda in media reports of June 15, 2026 regarding threats to Jamaica's mangroves. Minister Samuda is reported as stating that the biggest issue affecting our mangroves is the illegal cutting of them to be used for firewood, and sought to establish a link between charcoal production and the primary degradation of Jamaica's mangrove ecosystem. While illegal cutting of mangroves is unlawful and must be addressed wherever it occurs, the minister's comments appear inconsistent with the findings contained in the government's own National Mangrove and Swamp Forest Management Plan 2023 to 2033. The minister's comments are extremely troubling, especially in a post-Hurricane Melissa Jamaica, considering the important role mangroves play in protecting our coastal communities during storms. The National Mangrove and Swamp Forest Management Plan 2023 to 2033 notes that approximately 19.56% of Jamaica's mangrove losses have been attributed to the tourism, commerce, and the transportation sectors. The government's own report states clearly that most mangrove losses were related to tourism development. These are not opposition figures. They are findings contained in an official national management plan that is available to the ministry and the minister. Further, the comments were reportedly made from a location where healthy mangroves were removed during phases of that project's development. I am concerned that the public is being encouraged to focus primarily on vulnerable Jamaicans seeking a livelihood, while official reports point to development activities as the major documented source of mangrove loss. Environmental accountability cannot be reserved for the poor, while the larger drivers of environmental degradation receive less scrutiny. Jamaica's mangroves are among the most important natural climate resilience assets in Jamaica, providing protection against storm surge, coastal erosion, and the increasingly severe impacts of climate change. In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, Jamaicans understand better than ever that mangroves are not simply trees along the coastline. They are part of our national defense against climate disaster. The government, as steward of a significant portion of Jamaicans' forested wetlands, bear a special responsibility to ensure that public policy and public statements are guided by evidence. The protection of our mangroves requires honesty, consistency, and a willingness to confront every source of destruction, whether the threat comes from illegal cutting or from large-scale development. The standard must be the same. I am therefore calling on Minister Samuda to clarify his remarks and publicly acknowledge the findings of the National Mangrove and Swamp Forests Management Plan 2023 to 2033, so that the national conversation can be guided by evidence rather than selective narratives. Jamaicans deserve an environmental policy that follows the facts. We cannot ignore the findings of our own National Management Plan while placing disproportionate blame on those with the least economic power in our society. If we are serious about protecting our mangroves, we must be equally serious about confronting the principal documented causes of their destruction.
Visit our website at pnp.org.
That was quite straightforward, ladies and gentlemen, from Omar Newell. Calling out Matthew Samuda. I don't know about you guys, but I had some level of hope for him, but the more he opens his mouth, is the more I'm like, man. Because Omar Newell has been doing an amazing job in exposing him, you know. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but it's serious. Let's continue. This is Mr. Christopher Brown.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
The recent reacquisition of a controlling ownership interest in Paymaster by Minister Audrey Mark raises legitimate questions regarding the management of potential conflicts of interest and the safeguards required to maintain public confidence in government decision-making. Minister Marks holds cabinet responsibility for efficiency, innovation, and digital transformation, a portfolio that directly shapes policy affecting Jamaica's digital services, payment systems, and wider fintech ecosystem. Paymaster operates within that same space, providing payment and digital transaction services across the economy. In addition, Paymaster's operations intersect with a broader digital and telecommunications environment in which regulated service providers interact. This further underscores the need for clarity and transparency regarding how any potential conflicts are being managed. It is in this context, therefore, that the public is entitled to clarity on the following. Firstly, whether the ministers made application to and received approval or exemption through the Parliamentary Ethics Committee in relation to her ownership interest in Paymaster while serving in the Cabinet. Whether the required disclosures have been submitted and considered in accordance with established parliamentary procedures governing members with business interests. What formal recusal and conflict management arrangements have been established to ensure that the minister takes no part in cabinet or policy decisions that could directly or indirectly affect Paymaster or its competitive environment. What safeguards exist to ensure that government policy on digital transformation, digital payments, fintech, and related services is insulated from any actual or perceived private interest. For a cabinet minister to hold ownership in a company operating within a sector directly connected to her ministerial responsibilities inevitably raises questions that must be transparently addressed. The issue is not whether any wrongdoing has occurred. The issue is whether sufficient safeguards are in place to prevent actual, potential, or perceived conflict of interest arising from this overlap. Clarity in this matter is not optional. It is essential.
Visit our website at pnp.org.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher Brown, for highlighting the potential levels of conflict of interest and damn near corruption that could happen with, Audrey Marks getting full ownership of Paymaster again. The PNP is on the ball, and that is something that definitely is very, very serious. We're going through a digital transformation, like I said, and that's a digital platform. So how can she be in government and shape policy where that is concerned? And is there any restrictions for her to shape said policies? She shouldn't have a vote, period. You understand? That's a fact. And she shouldn't even be there to be honest with you, she shouldn't even be in the parliament with a situation like that. But then, when the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. And that's me saying that. Because Andrew Willis is uncertified and he's still in the parliament. It's unprecedented. Nowhere else in the world, ladies and gentlemen, you see that happening. And I want to say big up to Anisabel Rose. You know. She put out a video that speaks directly to this. And I did a screen what do you call it now? A screen remix, you know. Listen to this.
Remain uncertified, the more untenable his position becomes. The longer the Prime Minister's statutory declarations remain uncertified, the more untenable his position becomes.
Jamaica's name is being impacted internationally in a situation like that. That is a disqualifying feature for the leader of a country. And if the Jamaica Labour Party was true to its roots, it would not allow that situation to continue. It would take action and make the necessary change so that Jamaica's good name is not tarnished across the face of this globe.
He reasoned, the longer the Prime Minister's statutory declarations remain uncertified, the more untenable his position. The longer the Prime Minister's statutory
So, we hear Mr. Chris Brown and we share his sentiment, but I have no faith that the Andrew Willis-led government is going to step up to the plate and say, listen, you know, we have to, this is not right. And in principle, we're going to do this. No, they have no principle. They have no integrity. All right? Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. PNP all the way. Mr. Lowton Cousins, Omar Newell, and of course, Mr. Christopher Brown. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, let me see. BOLO V&R, BOLO TBV, stick around. BOLO V&R clips, BOLO V&R 2.0. See you guys later. Appreciate y'all.